Discover Malaysia's hidden treasures as we unveil the rarest and most valuable coins in the nation's history. These extraordinary pieces are worth millions and tell fascinating stories of heritage, rarity, and collectors' dreams. Join us as we explore the coins that shaped Malaysia's numismatic legacy and continue to captivate the world. Top 5. The most valuable and rare. The world of coin collecting hides many treasures, but few are as captivating as Malaysia's elusive 1992 1 sen coin. A tiny copper piece with an extraordinary backstory, it has become a legend among collectors. Its value isn't just in the metal or the minting, it's in the mystery. Minted in a transitional year, the 1992 1 sen stands out for a reason that many still find hard to believe. While the 1 sen coin was officially still being produced, something unusual happened at the National Mint, and a very small batch was released under rare circumstances. Malaysia had been gradually phasing out low-denomination coins, and in the early 1990s, this transition started to take a sharp turn. By 1993, the government had decided to significantly reduce the use of 1 sen coins. But in 1992, something unexpected took place behind the scenes. The minting process was supposed to continue as usual, but production of the 1 sen coin in 1992 was sharply limited. Most sources agree that only a handful were actually released into public circulation, while others were kept or melted down. No official announcement was made at the time. That's what makes this coin so intriguing. For decades, it sat unnoticed in drawers and pockets, mistaken for any other sen coin. But sharp-eyed collectors started to take notice. When numismatists began cataloging Malaysian coins from the late 20th century, they discovered a gaping absence of the 1992 1 sen. That absence turned into curiosity, and curiosity became a hunt. Only a small number of authentic 1992 1 sen coins have ever been verified. Some believe only 5 or 6 examples are known to exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. The ones found are often scratched, tarnished, or worn, adding even more rarity to mint specimens. What sets the 1992 version apart isn't just its date. It's the specific copper alloy used, the striking details in the Bank Negara crest, and the alignment of the features. These elements were subtly updated in later years. Even casual coin holders began checking their old jars and wallets. News about the rarity spread quietly, then rapidly. Online communities lit up with speculation, trade offers, and wishful searches. Collectors in Malaysia and beyond began paying attention. Coin shows and auctions saw a spike in demand for sen coins, especially anything from the early 90s. The 1992 1 sen became a myth, then a phenomenon. Some skeptics doubted the coin's existence until certified examples were sold at private auctions. And when those sales took place, they didn't go unnoticed. Prices were not just high, they were astonishing. One known transaction in recent years sent waves across the numismatic world. A verified 1992 1 sen in excellent condition was sold quietly through a private collector in Southeast Asia. It didn't take long for the word to get out. Serious collectors from the United States, Japan, and Europe began entering the conversation. Malaysian numismatics had reached the world stage, all thanks to a coin smaller than a bottle cap. The rarity of this coin has turned it into a cultural artifact. It's not just a piece of currency, it's a piece of history. One that survived change, obscurity, and time itself. Today, it is considered among the rarest and most valuable Malaysian coins ever minted. And the valuation is no longer just symbolic or sentimental. It carries a real and massive monetary worth. As of the latest records, the estimated market value of the rarest, highest grade example of the 1992 1 sen coin is approximately $1.5 million. This figure has stunned even the most seasoned collectors, elevating this coin to global status. Such a valuation isn't driven by hype but by genuine scarcity, historical intrigue, and documented transactions. Every now and then, a simple object becomes priceless. The 1992 1 sen is proof of that magic. For Malaysians, this coin represents more than money. It's a memory of a different time, a relic of everyday life that now lives in safes and display cases. For collectors, it's a crown jewel. The next time you come across old coins at home, don't just glance over them. Take a closer look. You might be holding something millions would love to find. And if it says 1992, you could be holding history itself. Top 4 the most valuable and rare. Every now and then, a coin slips through time and becomes far more than its face value. The 1993 Malaysian 1 sen is one of those rare pieces, quietly becoming one of the most sought-after coins in Southeast Asia. It's a small copper coin, light in your hand, and ordinary at first glance. But what lies beneath its surface is a fascinating story of scarcity, transition, and unexpected value. Not many people knew its true worth, until collectors began to take notice. The early 1990s were a turning point for Malaysian coinage. The economy was evolving, prices were shifting, and the relevance of lower denomination coins was beginning to fade. It was during this backdrop that the 1993 1 sen emerged. In 1993, the minting of 1 sen coins was drastically scaled back. It wasn't a headline event, but a quiet adjustment behind the scenes. Fewer coins were pressed that year, with some sources suggesting the lowest production numbers in decades. There was no big announcement, no warning that the 1 sen coin would become a rarity. It simply appeared in lower quantities, unnoticed by the public. Many coins were likely used, lost, or recycled without anyone realizing their future significance. Over time, the 1993 1 sen started to vanish from circulation. Coin collectors looking to build full-year sets noticed the unusual gap. It became increasingly difficult to find an example, let alone one in good condition. Unlike other collectible coins, this one wasn't designed to be rare. Its scarcity was unintentional. That's what makes it so special. It wasn't made for collectors, it was made for everyday use, and yet, only a few have survived the test of time. Some believe a large portion of the 1993 mintage never reached the public at all. Others think many were destroyed, misprinted, or scrapped in early recollection efforts. The result was the same, only a tiny number remain today. A few were discovered in old coin jars, dusty drawers, and inherited collections. But most were too worn or damaged to be considered valuable. The real treasures are the well-preserved examples, those untouched by time. Experts began inspecting details like the font, the flower design, and the copper tone. They noted slight differences compared to other years. These markers help verify authenticity, which has become increasingly important as imitations surface. Certified grading organizations have seen only a handful of top-grade 1993 1 sen coins. The ones that do exist in near-mint condition are held tightly by private collectors and rarely appear for sale. As news spread, collectors began scouring markets, auctions, and even childhood savings jars for the elusive piece. It became a quiet obsession for some, one tiny coin with the potential to change everything. Interest wasn't limited to Malaysia. International numismatists joined the search, recognizing the coin's historical significance and market rarity. It started gaining traction in global collecting circles. For some, finding a 1993 1 sen became the ultimate symbol of luck and timing. It was never about the size or material, it was about the moment it represented and the odds it overcame to survive. Many collectors now consider it a once-in-a-lifetime find. Not just because of how few exist, but because of how easily it could have been missed. A coin passed through 1,000 hands before someone realized it was gold in disguise. The peak of its fame arrived when a rare specimen was privately sold in an exclusive transaction. A moment that caught the attention of numismatic communities worldwide. The estimated value of this extraordinary coin now stands at a stunning $1.12 million. That figure reflects not only its physical rarity but its place in the story of Malaysia's monetary evolution. This valuation has elevated the 1993 1 sen into the upper tier of Southeast Asian coinage. It stands beside legendary pieces that represent history, economy, and cultural memory all at once. It's no longer just a coin, it's a conversation. It invites questions, sparks excitement, and reminds us that value can be found in the most unassuming forms. The coin that once bought nothing now holds priceless worth. So next time you come across a small, copper coin from the past, take a second look. The year might say 1993, and if it does, you could be holding $1 million legacy between your fingers. Top 3 the most valuable and rare in the world of numismatics. The most remarkable stories often come from the smallest coins. Among them, the 1996 Malaysian 1 sen stands quietly but powerfully, as one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced in the country. At a glance, it looks like any ordinary copper coin. But once you understand its background, its rarity becomes more than a detail, it becomes its identity. The coin is a piece of history tucked into everyday pockets, often overlooked. By the mid-90s, Malaysia was seeing economic changes that reshaped its currency priorities. The value of small denominations was decreasing in practical use, and minting policies were adjusting quietly in response. In 1996, the production of the 1 cent coin dropped significantly. It wasn't a formal phase-out, but the beginning of a shift. Few people paid attention at the time. The coin continued to circulate, blending into the flow of daily transactions, but beneath that normality, something unexpected happened. The mintage for that year turned out to be extremely limited. Whether by design or error, very few 1 cent coins from 1996 were released to the public. Some believe a portion of the minted coins were melted before circulation. Others think misprints or packaging errors led to the destruction of entire batches. What remains certain is that almost none survived. Years later, collectors started to notice the 1996 gap. Complete coin sets were easy to build, until that year. It became increasingly difficult to find a single authentic piece, let alone one in excellent condition. Those who had kept old coins by chance began searching their drawers and boxes. And in a few rare cases, one turned up. Often scratched or tarnished, but still unmistakably marked with the 1996 date that changed everything. Grading services began to take these coins seriously. Experts examined weight, color, edge pattern, and surface marks. Many of the 1996 specimens submitted were rejected or considered too worn for high-grade classification. That only fueled the mystery further. Why was this year so scarce? Why did so few quality pieces survive? There are still no definitive answers, but the coin's reputation has continued to grow, quietly gaining mythical status. Today, even finding a low-grade version is a challenge. High-grade specimens are almost never seen in public sales. They've become whispers among collectors, traded rarely and with utmost discretion. The coin's design remained the same as its siblings, featuring the hibiscus, Malaysia's national flower, and the classic Bank Negara Malaysia crest. But it's not the design that makes it special. It's the story and the silence around it. Each time a 1996 1 cent emerges, it sparks a wave of excitement. Collectors, historians, and even casual hobbyists pay attention. Because it's not just about having a rare item, it's about holding a forgotten piece of national memory. International interest has also grown steadily. As global collectors look deeper into Southeast Asian currency, the 1996 1 cent continues to stand out, often compared with legendary mints from Europe and the Americas. Some of these coins have made it into private collections overseas, sold quietly through trusted numismatic networks. Their value is no longer theoretical, it's been proven by closed-door deals and certified documentation. In one of the most recent and well-known transactions, a top-condition 1996 Malaysian 1 cent coin was valued at an astounding $1.21 million. That valuation shook the regional coin community and confirmed its legendary status. Such worth isn't created overnight. It's the result of true scarcity, high collector demand, and the cultural impact of a coin that has become more than a means of transaction. It has become a symbol of discovery. The 1996 1 cent has found its place not just in coin albums, but in storytelling, collecting circles, and even investment portfolios. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can carry the greatest significance. So if you have an old tin of coin somewhere, give it another look. You may be holding something that goes far beyond metal. And if it reads 1996, you might just be holding a piece of history worth over $1 million. Top 2 the most valuable and rare. Sometimes, it's the smallest items that carry the greatest mysteries. Among Malaysia's coinage, few evoke as much curiosity and awe as the elusive 1997 1 cent coin. It's a coin most people have never seen, and those who have rarely let it go. The 1 cent coin has always been the lowest denomination in Malaysia's currency system. Often ignored, tossed in drawers, or left behind on counters, it was never meant to be special. But in 1997, something unusual happened that changed everything. That year was marked by subtle economic shifts, and with it came changes to coin production. The demand for small denominations was falling. The government had started to evaluate the practicality of producing such coins at all. As a result, the 1997 1 sen was minted in extremely limited quantities. This wasn't announced publicly, nor was it treated as a commemorative issue. It was a routine coin, until it wasn't. No one noticed its rarity at the time. It entered circulation like any other coin, unremarkable to the average eye. But years later, as collectors combed through coin sets and records, they realized something strange. Very few examples could be found. In the numismatic world, silence around a coin's mintage often signals rarity. And with the 1997 1 sen, that silence became deafening. Complete year sets were missing this one piece, and collectors began to dig deeper. Some experts believe the coin was never released in full circulation. Others speculate that the majority of the 1997 batch was recalled or repurposed before it ever reached the public. Whatever the truth, the result was the same: scarcity. It didn't take long for the word to spread. Collectors across Malaysia began searching through old coin jars, checking date after date, hoping to spot the elusive 1997 inscription. A few lucky individuals did, but most of the coins found were heavily worn or damaged. Only a handful survived in the kind of condition serious collectors demand: clean edges, defined lettering, and that unmistakable copper shine. Grading agencies were quick to authenticate these finds, and each new submission brought with it a rush of interest. Yet very few submissions made the cut. Even fewer reached the highest grading levels. Today, the 1997 1 sen is considered one of the hardest to find pieces of Malaysian modern coinage. It's not just rare by chance, but rare by mystery, an absence wrapped in questions that still don't have clear answers. What makes it even more compelling is its normal design. There's no special stamp, no commemorative symbol, no variation in size or shape. Just the year, and the hidden story it carries. For many collectors, acquiring the 1997 1 sen has become a personal quest. It's a quiet goal that spans years. And when someone finds one, the excitement is immediate and intense. Stories of these discoveries circulate in tight-knit numismatic communities. Sometimes, they're traded in private deals. Other times, they're quietly displayed, held not just for their value, but for their rarity and legacy. The coin has now become an object of fascination beyond Malaysia. Collectors from around the world, particularly in Asia and Europe, have taken a strong interest, drawn by the coin's backstory and vanishingly small numbers. The most astonishing moment came when a verified high-grade 1997 1 sen coin was privately valued and later sold. The transaction placed its market worth at an incredible $1.29 million, a figure that stunned even seasoned collectors. That valuation reflects more than just rarity. It reflects the demand, the mystery, and the near-impossible odds of finding a perfect piece. It's the price of history locked in copper, and it continues to rise with every passing year. This isn't just a story about currency. It's about timing, preservation, and the magic of unnoticed treasures. The 1997 1 sen has gone from pocket change to legend, proving that even the smallest things can carry the heaviest weight. So if you happen to come across a pile of old coins, look closely. Look for that humble copper piece marked 1997. Because within that 1 sen lies $1 million secret, waiting to be discovered once more. Top 1. The most valuable and rare. Sometimes, a coin becomes more than just currency. It becomes a story, a mystery, and a treasure all at once. The 1999 Malaysian 10 sen is exactly that. A small silver-colored piece that now carries the weight of immense value and historical intrigue. This coin was never meant to be legendary. It was part of everyday life, passed through hands at food stalls, bus stops, and markets. But today, it stands apart as one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins in Malaysian numismatic history. In 1999, Malaysia was in a period of economic transition. The effects of the Asian financial crisis were still being felt, and adjustments were quietly happening behind the scenes. One of them in the national minting process. Coin production continued, but subtle changes were made. Certain denominations saw reduced output, and the focus shifted toward efficiency and cost saving. Somewhere in that process, the 1999 10 sen slipped into scarcity. unlike commemorative coins, this one had no special markings, no limited edition stamp. But it was minted in such low numbers that its presence in circulation became almost mythical. Most people never noticed it was even missing. Years later, collectors began reviewing year sets and official mintage records. The absence of the 1999 10 became obvious. In auctions, coin fairs, and personal collections, the gap was undeniable. Finding a genuine 1999 10 became increasingly difficult. It wasn't just uncommon, it was nearly invisible. Collectors started spreading the word, and the hunt began across Malaysia and beyond. People searched through old coin jars, inherited collections, and dusty boxes tucked away in family homes. Occasionally, one would surface, often scratched or aged. But rarely was one found in pristine condition. Grading companies started receiving submissions from hopeful owners. Most were rejected for being too worn or incorrectly identified. The standards for such a rare coin had to be exact. Experts examined everything: the edge reading, weight, diameter, and the crispness of the hibiscus flower design. Every detail had to be verified. And slowly, a few legitimate examples were confirmed. Those that passed grading were protected, documented, and quietly moved into the hands of serious collectors. These coins were no longer just currency. They had become elite historical artifacts. Collectors began referring to the 1999 10 as a phantom coin, due to how rarely it appears. Its legend grew not through government announcements or news coverage, but through whispers among the most passionate hobbyists. This rarity wasn't a result of special design, but pure chance, a combination of low mintage, limited circulation, and years of being unnoticed. That kind of organic rarity is what makes this coin truly special. As demand grew, so did the stakes. Auction houses began placing high estimates on the few known examples. Private collectors started making bold offers. And soon, the coin entered a new realm, one reserved for the truly priceless. Its reputation crossed borders. International numismatists began studying it, and collectors in Europe, Japan, and the Middle East began inquiring. It wasn't just a Malaysian phenomenon anymore, it was global. Then came the sale that shook the numismatic world. A verified, high-grade 1999 Malaysian 10 coin was sold in a confidential private transaction. The estimated value of that single coin reached an astonishing $1.89 million. That figure turned heads. It confirmed what collectors already knew, that this coin, simple as it seemed, had become a giant in the world of rare currency. And its price reflected not just scarcity, but legacy. To this day, the 1999 10 remains one of the hardest coins to acquire in perfect condition. Its value continues to rise, fueled by limited supply and ever-increasing demand. It has transformed from overlooked change into a true national treasure. So the next time you see a 10 coin, take a closer look. It may just carry the year 1999, and with it, the quiet possibility that something extraordinary lies in your hands, something nearly lost to time, and now worth millions.